Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Scorched Earth. I am Winslow, and today we will be seeking out the artifact of the Crag, located in the northwestern cave on Scorched Earth, the grave of the Tyrant. Thanks for joining, and let's jump right in. I will be taking in with me my trusty shotgun and a Megatherium, along with the Channel 9 News Weather Reporter radar. This cave should be pretty straightforward, without a great deal of danger. I think it's going to be one of the easier caves in the game. I've really enjoyed working on the Carno breeding project, and I have about a dozen eggs in storage right now ready to hatch. That should be a good start for going up against the Manticore, but in order to get to that fight, we needed 3 artifacts that are located on the map. Feel free to check out my previous video where we got the artifact of the Gatekeeper. As for right now, let's go ahead and fly over to the Northwest Cave, the grave of the Tyrants. I recommend taking an Argentavis. You can just park it inside and it will defend itself. I'll show you on the map where the cave is along with these GPS coordinates, about 27.5 by 28.5. The cave can be a bit dark, so I went ahead and turned the gamma up slightly because YouTube makes the recording appear darker than it actually is. It's pretty important if you leave your bird parked here to keep it on neutral so it can defend itself. A Carno is able to make its way inside, and you probably don't want to have to walk home if your bird dies. Now I'm going to be using a Megatherium that I tamed during the Winter Wonderland event to clear this cave. It's the same one that we used for the artifact of the Gatekeeper. Megatheriums are generally my preferred cave tame because most caves have bugs and these giant sloths get a huge combat frenzy when they kill one. If you were to come in with the Thylacoleo, you could easily jump over the parts separated by water, but you wouldn't have the added damage bonus of the Megatherium. Megatherium will be a little bit slower, but overall I think they make it a lot easier. Having a little bit of trouble getting back on the Mega, not sure why. Maybe Wildcard decided it would be smart to prevent you from mounting a tame when you're webbed. But this is why I have my shotgun. I usually keep my cave tame on passive when I'm inside the cave. The last thing that I would really want is for it to feel heroic and run off killing everything. This is how you get crushed by rocks or torn apart by bats. I see a Megalosaurus ahead, but it's daytime and they're sleeping, so we'll be fine. Let me just clear out these bats real quick. The greatest danger in this cave is going to be Mega Rabies, which you can get from the bats. Mega Rabies can be removed with an antidote, but that's really hard to obtain on Scorched Earth because there's not any swamps with leeches, and the Deathworm horns, which you can use instead of leech blood, are a real pain to farm. You need 3 for a single antidote, and it's really just not worth it. Bring some food, some med brews, and you should be fine. Just wait it out, and then continue on. I wouldn't recommend coming in here at night because where there's one Megalosaurus, there's many more. They become active at night and they're hyper aggressive. They have the ability to pull you off of a tame. They'll grind you up like hamburger if you don't kill them quickly. This is another reason why I like the Megatherium for caves, because he's too tall for something like a Megalosaurus to grab you from if you're facing it head on. My rabies infection is almost cleared, and you can see that it has drained my stamina and health, but you can easily survive it if you just wait it out. This cave does have water, but it's not very dangerous, unlike a lot of other caves. I haven't really seen a lot of beasts down in the water except for some rubble golems that get stuck. You'll occasionally see rocks tossed out at you. All of the water areas here should have ramps on either side that you can use to climb out of. It's almost a shame that Megalosaurus aren't more useful off of the aberration map, because they're super strong when they have their nighttime boost. But since they sleep all day, you can easily take them out. Let's continue on and clear out this next part of the cave. This cave is an excellent source for salt, keratin, chitin, sulfur, and obsidian. You can also get a fair amount of polymer from the mantis inside, and if you decide to kill the rubble golems, you can harvest them for crystal, metal, oil, and obsidian. There is a golem down in the water here, but I'm going to just ignore it. This is the only spot where the Megatherium has to squeeze through a tight space, but you can just walk up on the side of the wall here and get past it. The ledge above has some more Megalosaurus and obsidian. I'll go ahead and clear the rest of these bats out, and then we can see what's in this blue cave drop. Megatherium is pretty big, and sometimes he doesn't like perching on an uneven surface. This causes him to gyrate back and forth, and I'm always afraid that they're going to wiggle through the mesh. Now the blue cave drop, and an ascended Lymantria saddle, and an ascended desert hat. Very nice. If I was on foot or with something other than a Megatherium right now, I would be getting much more aggro from the insects and the bats. The wolves and the cats will always aggro to you, but the bugs and bats mostly ignore you. There's a bit of a ledge here, and the one downside of the Megatherium is that he's not able to jump. If the other ledge was lower, I could take a running charge off of it, but if you came in with the Thylacoleo, you could just hop over. I'm kind of glad that the rubble golem here is stuck in that passageway, because getting crushed by a rock really isn't on my agenda for the day. In the last cave we went in, we can use grapple hooks to bypass ledges, so I'm going to cryo the Megatherium and see if I can hop over. I want to save the polymer for industrial tech, so I'll hold it myself. Unfortunately, I am a dom, and forgot that grapples don't work when you are encumbered. The good news is there's a ledge in the water. I'll just go ahead and swim over. I have absolutely no interest in getting one shot by a rock, so here's the Megatherium again. I'm going to ignore this red drop for now, and I'll grab it on the way out. Since I'm already encumbered, if I have to cryo the Megatherium again, I don't want to be any slower by carrying whatever is in there. Just ahead is the artifact in that small alcove, but right here you may need to be a bit careful because there is sometimes a rubble golem right down where the skeleton is. If it's there, that might be the only time that you actually need to fight one, but you can bring some explosives or a rocket launcher if you've unlocked that. I like to take the ramp to the right side because if the golem is down there, you don't want to just jump down. You might get pinned and he'll just bash you with rocks. Today it seems that I'm lucky and there's no golem, so the rest of the cave is going to be a breeze. Since I won't have to cryo the Megatherium again, I'll go ahead and just get this red drop here. Thorny Dragon Saddle and an Ascended Whip Blueprint. Not bad. One last set of bugs to crush, and then we can claim the artifact. This must be the grave mentioned in the Grave of the Tyrants. I wasn't really able to find much lore on who these tyrants were, but maybe it was the old leaders of the shattered settlements that Helena Walker met before I got here. In the artifact crate, you'll get the artifact itself, and also a Scorched Earth skin. All three artifacts have a special skin along with the artifacts. This one is for a torch. I think it looks better than the regular torch, or the sparkler. You can also use it on mall torches. Now I just have to make my way out. There will be some respawns, but it won't be as bad as the first cave we explored. Just taking a quick look around to make sure there's not a golem in the water, and thin the red drop. And 2 Ascendant Mantis saddle blueprints that I will probably never make. Ascendant blueprints can be kind of nice, but often the material requirement is absurdly high, and sometimes won't even fit in the necessary crafting station, like a smithy or a fabricator. The Megatherium really does make cave exploration very easy, since you can just safely walk past most of the things that live here, except for these wolves. The respawn wasn't really bad at all. I do want to clear out this remaining cluster of creatures before heading out, because I can really use the polymer. Again, just take the ramp up and out of the water, and then we should be right by our bird. Alright, I'm going to pack up the Megatherium and keep this polymer, and I'll see you at home. Just caught the tail end of a scorching heat wave, and I really want to start looking for a phoenix to tame, but I don't know if we'll be able to make that happen. I've decided to put the artifact pedestals on the observation deck here. Nobody is going to be able to come take them in. I'd like them to be on display. Two out of 3, almost ready for the manticore. I'm going to wrap things up here. Thanks again for joining, and if you've made it this far, I want to thank you again. I really appreciate all of the support I've been getting, and if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them below or on any of the social media links provided. Thanks again, and we'll catch up next time. Bye.